the customer's like, well, what if I dig the trench for you? Can we get some connectivity that way? What got you into the broadband business?
Well, I kind of grew up around it, I guess. I was living in the town or I grew up in the town that our company's in today, and my dad was in the broadband business. It was not the broadband business back then, but it's what it is now.
Yeah.
And so I worked there in high school. I got to do some filing, which was fun. And then I did not think I was going to come into this business. I became a CPA and went into public accounting. And what got me back into it was I was honestly looking for a way out of the city and to get back to rural America. I remembered that I really enjoyed being there. And I'm sure you probably know this too. The people are the draw. We have the best people working at our companies and across the country. And so that's what drew me back. Jeff, let me ask you, what are the biggest issues impacting you, your customers, and your company today?
Boy, there's a lot wrapped up into that. First thing that comes to my mind with the terrain that we're in, we've just got a lot of national forest land, a lot of BLM land. Some of the biggest challenges, honestly, is just getting accessibility out to where people are and going through some of the challenges of terrain as well as just permitting or costs. In some parts of our serving area, we have snow on the ground for 6 months out of the year. So it's just really hard to try to do mass deployment of broadband connectivity in an area where you just have really short construction seasons. Of course, for our customers living out in some of those remote areas, connectivity to the world is critical, and it doesn't matter whether it be for healthcare or education, personal safety, and so it really is a challenge, not just out of convenience or entertainment to bring the connectivity to these people, but really helping them to be able to survive in the kind of difficult environment that they're in. I'm wondering if you can share some of the challenges that your company faces and what maybe the fast, reliable connectivity means for the customers that you have.
A lot of similar things. We have some pretty sparse areas that we serve, maybe not as much as you, but the challenges really just are that there are still a lot of people who are unconnected, and not just where we serve, but in the areas around us. And so I think some of those challenges are just getting those people connected because everybody wants it yesterday, and it just takes time to get it out there. It's expensive. There's lots of permitting and other delays that you can run into. We don't have snow really ever, so we don't have that challenge, but there's always something, I think, that can make projects go sideways or just take longer, and then also trying sometimes even to help people understand how to get connected. We do some classes for helping people understand even how to do it, because you can build it and bring it, but if they don't know how to use it, then that's not going to do any good. And to your point about what it means, a safe, robust, reliable connection, we're connecting people to the world and the world to them. And you've already mentioned a lot of those cases of why it's so important is your healthcare, your education, things that are harder to reach physically when you live in a rural area. And we're bringing that to people. But really what we give too is the ability for people to live a modern, successful life wherever they want to live. If they want to live in rural America, they're not limited just because of their connectivity needs. So I think just the ability to give people the option to live where they want and live a life like what they want is really powerful.
What is your favorite part of your job?
Thank you. Actually, it's hard to maybe narrow it down to one. And honestly, we've already talked about a couple of them already. My first thought when you asked me the question is just the people that I get to work with, just amazing people. And sort of the can-do attitude. I imagine it's pretty similar with where you're at in Texas as it is for us in Wyoming, but there's satisfaction that comes from rolling up the sleeves and getting a job done. Sometimes we honestly like the challenge that comes from doing some hard things. I also had to laugh as you were talking about the customers and sort of them understanding some of those challenges as well. I know at least in one case when we had some difficulty getting some construction going, availability of resources to help make it happen and the cost. The customer's like, well, what if I dig the trench for you? Can we get some connectivity that way? I love what we do because of how it connects people. And we talked about some examples where, we can't ignore that economies are dependent on connectivity, healthcare, safety, all of that. But it's the human connection that matters the most. Just literally this week, we welcomed grandchild number 9. Thanks. And I'm in DC, and my wife is at home in Wyoming, and my son, who had his son, our 9th grandchild, lives in Kansas. And so all three of us got on a FaceTime call in so many different parts of the country where we were able to enjoy that experience together. For as much as technology can be detrimental to face-to-face human connection, it also, used properly, can just be powerful to connect people. As you look 3 to 5 or even 10 years into the future, I'm just curious, what are you most excited about for the American connectivity story?
I think in 3, 5, 10 years, we will actually have people connected. And the explosion of everything and productivity and that comes from that, I think is what's going to be very exciting. I'm not very good at predicting the future. I don't even know that I can think big enough to know just the opportunity that we're going to create. But I guess I'd be most excited about the opportunities that will then exist. So what about you?
Yeah, thanks. I would say it's probably pretty similar. This is an exciting time. In our company's business, we're seeing the most growth, the most success I think that we've seen in a long time. And so I can't help but feel optimistic about our industry and about the opportunities that are ahead for us and for our customers. It's amazing to see what all of the privately owned businesses are doing for broadband deployment in the country right now, and how much investment is going into connectivity. Really also, frankly, pleased with some public policy that's designed to help accomplish that as well. I think when we work together with meaningful government programs, we can do a lot. And then I'm also, same as you. I mean, how amazing is it to see the way that technology continues to advance? And I just think even in 5 years, there's going to be innovations that we can't even really think of right now that are going to exist that would be as common to us as the cell phone um, is for us now, that, 15 years ago, we couldn't have even imagined. So I just think that that's some exciting things that I'm just grateful to be a part of. Well, thank you. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to go through some of these questions with me, and the opportunity I think that I've had to maybe answer some of yours. We just are really grateful for all of the work that we're able to do at the US Telecom Association and with our respective companies, and just appreciate you joining with us today.